Okay, I want to show you this double-sided race clock. I'm just going to rotate it here. There's the front of it. I'm going to show you the other end of it. We have a keypad on this end of it. I'm going to rotate it back to the beginning now. There's the other side, and back to the connector end. Okay, here we have two buttons, 1 and 0 for power on and power off. They also act as test buttons. If you tap them while the power is on, it'll show test patterns on the display. And there'll be an on light here, so I'm going to press and hold this button. And you'll see the green light came on. It's a little bit hard to see in the outside sunlight, but it's there. We also have three other connectors. This is for charging or for powering it from AC power. So if you want to, you can power the unit from AC power. It will be charging the battery at the same time it's being used, so you can leave it plugged in to charge and or to use it. We also have two other connectors here. One's marked in, one marked out. The in has two functions. You can hook a keypad to it, similar to the keypad at the other end of this display we just looked at, or you can connect another display to it. So if you want to synchronize two of these displays, you can connect the output connector on this display with a cable to the input connector on another identical display or similar display, and that way you have two of them synchronized. And of course, if you want to synchronize 3 or 4 of them, you can do that as well. So this allows you to output and synchronize to another display, or if you have a horn or some other type of device you want to connect to it, you can connect to this output connector. This provides power and data out to an auxiliary device. The input provides power out to a keypad, but not enough power out to operate another display. So it will operate the keypad and or send data out to synchronize to another display. And that covers the connectors on this end here. We have here a double-sided race clock. I'm going to look at the front of it here, and then if you turn it around here, you'll notice it's got two sides on it. Both sides are identical. So I'm going to rotate it back around to this side right here, and I'm going to turn on the power. So right here there's two buttons marked 0 and 1. We're going to push the 1 button, and I'm going to push and hold it until the display lights up, and you're going to see it light up showing some pattern on there. And now it's ready to go. Now I want to go to the other end, and on the other end here we have a keypad. It's got 8 buttons on it and a knob. And so I'm going to start with the reset button. I'm going to press the reset button, so watch the display as I press it now. And it reset to 0. Now I can start the timer. I can press start, and it starts counting up. I can press stop, and the counter stops. I can press reset, it goes back to 0 again. So now I can also press the mode button and watch the display. It's going to change to down, count down. I can press start, and it starts counting down. So I'm going to stop it, I'm going to reset it. I'm going to turn the knob for 10 minutes, so I can turn the knob to any number of minutes that I want. There's another button here called select, so I'm going to tap it 1 time. Now I can set hours. Let's say I want to do a long time, say 2 hours, and press the select 1 more time. Then I'm turning the knob. I can change seconds, and I press the select button a 3rd time, and I'm changing minutes. So now I got 2 hours and 15 minutes on the display. So then I press start, and it'll start counting down in hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple other buttons on here. We have a clock button. This is time of day clock, so I can tap it, and you're going to see time of day clock on the display. And you'll notice that there's a leading 0 on this. That means it's in military time or 24-hour mode. I can tap the clock button one time, it'll go to 12-hour mode. So tapping it alternates between military time and 12-hour clock mode, depending on what you prefer. Okay, we also have 3 more buttons on here I want to demonstrate to you. They're preset 1, preset 2, and preset 3. So what I want to do is I want to set the presets up. So I'm going to press the reset button. This puts it back in timer mode. It shows 2 hours and 14 minutes and counting down. Now remember, we had this thing set up at 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm going to press and hold preset 1. And notice the display changed. It's going to show in there 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'm going to stop the timer. I'm going to press reset. I'm going to change it to count up mode. Now it's in count up mode. So I'm going to start the timer. So it's counting up. Okay, now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to press preset 3. I'm going to press and hold the preset button. You'll see a little blink on the display. It stored that. So remember, I stored 2 hours and 15 minutes in preset 1. So I want to tap preset 1. Notice it went back to 2 hours and 15 minutes to start counting down. So it stored that setting that I'd put in there. I can go back to preset 3, which I had set up for count up mode. So now preset 3 has got count up mode in it. So I can set any of the presets to whatever I want them to do, and then by tapping the button it'll recall that exact setting and start it running if I had it already running. Now I want to make one change here. Now preset 3 was set up to run, so I'm going to stop the clock, hit reset, and I'm going to change this to count up mode again. So it's at 0, not running. I'm going to restore a setting back in preset 3 again. It blinked. Okay, now I want to recall preset 1 again. There's your 2 hours and 15 minutes and counting down. I want to recall preset 3 again. This time it reset but didn't start. That's because I stored it with the clock stopped. So it's going to recall it with the clock stopped. So if you want it to start running immediately as soon as you hit the preset button, then you want to start the clock before you store the setting. So basically it stores exactly what you have set in the clock. Okay, those are the primary functions of this unit. There is one more I want to demonstrate to you. Sometimes they have a mile marker mode. You're running a long race and you have this maybe at the 1 mile mark or 2 mile mark, often used like in marathons. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press reset. It's already in count up mode, but I'm going to turn the knob and I'm going to set 7 minutes into the count up there. So now I press start. It's going to continue counting up, but it's going to count up from 7 minutes instead of from 0. So if you turn this clock off, take it to mile 1, and that happens, the clock happens to be at 7 minutes, so the time has elapsed, you can start at a non-zero startup time. And then you can move this to another mile marker. So if you left it on, of course you don't have to do that, but if you turn it off, go to the next mile marker and turn it back on again, then you can reset it to a non-zero start time. Okay, then I'm going to stop the clock and press reset. And this is the basic features of this clock.